Hey everyone, I wanted to come in here today to talk a little bit about astrology, which, as you might know, it's not an area I focus on. I focus more on tarot and symbolism. So I will share that maybe like a lot of people, unfortunately, I had a really bad experience with astrology when I was younger, which really scared me off. Basically, I went to this astrologer who really scared me. He said some good things, but also basically that my year ahead was gonna be extremely difficult. And I remember I left pretty much crying, thinking, wow, what will happen? Like something terrible was going to happen. And for me, the feeling like that I can't do anything about it was really upsetting. And just the idea that there's just one future, one doom. And the reality is that year I just broke up with someone. And of course, it sucked, it was painful, but it was nowhere near the concern that I had and that she gave me. And actually, it's really interesting because she called me that day and was like, hey, are you okay? The thing happened. I'm like, oh, that's what it was. If she didn't call me, I think I would have continued expecting it. So, of course, it's life. There's ups and downs, but I was really expecting something like terrible and it really scared me. And if we talk about the law of attraction, it's not good to be expecting those things. Because of that experience, I was just really scared. Like, I believe in it. Like, she could tell the day that I was gonna break up. I was just like, I don't want to know. I want at least to have the impression that I have control over my life, at least to some extent, and I just don't want to know if something bad is gonna happen. So fast forward, I'm learning more about astrology, more in like the placement, so like the personality type. You know, we have the natal chart, that's how the planets are when you're born, and then you have the transits, which is more like what's happening this year. And I started seeing astrology, like many astrologers actually do, like opportunities for growth or things that are likely. I talked in another video, in the caption of my intuition video, I wrote that I believe there are many possible futures. There are some that are more likely if you continue doing the things the way you're doing them or attracting the way you're attracting. And there are others that are a bit further away, but you can work to get there. And I've met a lot of astrologers who see it the same way and are actually like, hey, the planets just have a proposal for you, or it will give you certain situations and then you will be able to handle them in one way or another, and they could either contribute to your growth or not. So the really cool thing about the way I see astrology now, and a lot of astrologers see it, is it's actually about growth. It's actually about the concept of soul contracts, of saying before we're born, like, hey, what are the lessons that I need to learn in this life? So then we sign up to have certain situations that are not like destructive, they're just opportunities for growth. And that's a lot of the Saturn return I'm going through right now, and it's just such a beautiful opportunity to learn more about it. So I made a friend here, the amazing Beth. Her Instagram handle, I'm gonna tag it here, is Lavender Compass Astrology. And I met her here, we were talking, we have very similar viewpoints on all of this, and I'm like, you know what, I'm willing to try it out. And I told her that I had this really bad experience, and whether, she could do it without scaring me. Basically, I'm like, can you do it without the bad things? Just in a way, focused on the growth opportunities. And she told me this is how I always do it. She said the point is never to scare you. It's always to focus on growth and the high roads, and maybe there's low roads. But basically, those are the same, like the different sides of the same coins of certain placements, depending on how you use them. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. And she gave me an amazing 30-page, or maybe 15 pages reports that were so in-depth, so inspiring and positive. And with my placements, she says, well, you have this placement, for example, a lot of excitement, a lot of like focusing on your work, and on a high road, this is wonderful. You can create things, you can bring things into life, like nothing will stop you. And on the low road, you might be a bit demanding and bossy. So I know that's something that I've had to work on, so it's definitely great to be reminded and see the good things of a placement and the areas of growth for the same placement. And I was really scared about my Saturn return, and one of the reports was focused on my Saturn return that I'm going through next year. I was terrified. It was like some astrologers make it sound like, oh, it's gonna like put you in your place, it's gonna discipline you, like everything's gonna shatter. And she actually said that for me, it's gonna be a peak of finding my voice and basically finding who I am in this world in a bigger way, not being insecure, like all these things that I've been working on until this point. But she said that next year it's gonna peak. So I was actually really excited about that and really thankful. My Saturn is in Aries, so it has to do with being assertive and finding your voice. And I just didn't think of that as discipline, because for me, that's like something fun. It's something good, right? And she just really made me feel excited about this next year that I was so scared about. And she also nailed my personality, even like the differences, like the different parts, that I talk about, because I can have a part that's very organized and doesn't like risk, and another part, as I said earlier, that's like very excited and wants change and new things. So I do have both, and that could be seen as a contradiction, right? And in my framework, I see them as different parts, which I am realizing that in this astrology framework with the different planets, with the different placements, it could be seen as, she said, an astrological contradiction, but I have to work toward balance. Right. So I'm really thinking about correlations here with the parts and the astrology. It's so different than when people say, what's your sign? And they mean just the sun sign, right? And really, we have so many planets, so many houses, placements, and she did an amazing job of connecting everything together. And we had a meeting. It was really amazing. So I am really recommending her services to my followers. I have a 20% off link that I will link in my story and in the bio. She has so much talent and such a helpful way of seeing astrology. It inspired me to continue learning about it, learning about my placements, and basically being less scared about it.